Hello VGFAQ, this is Abacus. We're doing something a little bit different for this walkthrough for Sniper Elite V2 Remastered. This is our first episode, this is the first mission, technically the 0th mission, the tutorial. And we've decided that we're going to try to do commentary walkthroughs. Now we know that not everybody wants commentary walkthroughs, and for the longest time we've specialized in no commentary walkthroughs, so I'm going to do two. I just make one of each. The first thing I want to note is that this particular puzzle, I got really confused for a really long time because I didn't realize that there was a second doorway. I'm like, why are you telling me to stick something in the door? I already did it. So obviously, I'm going to cut out all the parts where I was a doofus and took forever to figure out basic puzzles. But for the most part, don't have to worry about that because this is, it's going to be one of those runs where everything went perfectly well. And so anyway, this is the commentary walkthrough. You want the no commentary walkthrough, it's the other playlist. These will all be put in a playlist, as is customary for VGFAQ. And I am going to be rambling, not talking about anything in particular, because there's not a lot to talk about, because it's the prologue. This is more of a test run, to be perfectly honest, and kind of just get used to the format, see how everything's going. I can't fathom that anyone needs help in the tutorial unless they're like me and they had trouble solving basic puzzles, or they got hit with a bug like this one. You're not going to see a bug in this particular playthrough, but holy hell is this particular puzzle really buggy. And I'm going to be honest, there's kind of a lot of bugs for a game that just came out, especially when it's a remake of a game that's really, really old. But most of the bugs have to do with this tutorial because they locked off a bunch of the abilities, and if you stray even remotely off the beaten path, they force you to restart that particular puzzle.
Von Eisenberg was punctual and made no effort to hide his ugly face. Neither did his Russian contact. I had a clear shot. The slightest pressure on the trigger, and it was good night, Major General. Just a question of choosing my moment. The square was well sheltered, so there was no...
This is another bug you're going to encounter.
I had to aim one notch above the target to compensate for...
Don't do what I do here.
I controlled my breathing to steady my aim.
If you press E at this moment like I did, you're just stuck. I'm frantically pushing the trigger. It's not letting me. You have to let go of E if you do that. And after that, things get interesting. Notably, this is being played on normal difficulty, so bullet drop exists. If you're playing on easy, there's no bullet drop, and then you just want to stick it right over their heads. Otherwise, you're going to have to... I mean, I don't know how many of you have played Sniper Elite before. I actually have not. This is my first time playing a Sniper Elite game. They're pretty quick to figure out, though. I got really stuck on this part, too. I couldn't figure out why it wouldn't let me crawl over the tank. Turns out you need to go behind the tank. And we're going into this next section. There's going to be a bunch of bad guys. You can kind of tell this time that I recorded the gameplay and then the voiceover. I don't know if I'm going to stick to that. I might do the voiceover at the same time in the future. We'll have to see. But you can just kind of run past all the bad guys. It don't matter. You can shoot them to increase your score if you really, really want. It's the tutorial. It's not particularly difficult. But this is a walkthrough. And presumably you just want to get through the tutorial and move on to a better, bigger part of the game, which you can now do.
I was committed now.
So I hope everybody enjoyed this quick... This is a tutorial in more ways than one. Tutorial for the game and tutorial for this type of video. Let me know if you enjoy this sort of thing. And I will see you in the next video for the first actual mission of Sniper Elite V2 Remastered.